Hi, it's State Representative Jim Walsh here for our regular legislative update. As you can see, it's a beautiful spring day here at the Capitol in Olympia. The cherry blossoms are in full bloom and the sky is crystalline blue. It's a beautiful time to be here. If you have the chance and you're anywhere nearby, stop by and walk around a bit. It's lovely. Anyway, on to less lovely topics, namely taxes. We're at that point in the legislative session where the conversations, the debates, the work is all focused around budgets and taxes. I've talked about the three budgets before. In our state, we have three budgets: operating, the main budget, transportation, and capital construction. What I want to talk about this segment is the taxes that fund those three budgets. As you probably heard or read or seen, there are a number of new tax increase proposals being debated under the dome here in Olympia. I'm opposed to all of them. I think we don't need to raise taxes at all. I think we can hold with our current tax rates and tax flows coming into the state government and do everything we need to do. But some of my colleagues are pressing for tax increases. You may have heard about the so-called wealth tax. This is an idea that's sort of hung over from the Inslee administration. What it would do is it expands the state's capital gains tax to investments and assets that aren't sold, that aren't capital gains, that you're just having and holding on to, hopefully for future use. This capital gains tax would apply to assets you own that aren't capital gains. It's a very strange proposal. Luckily, the new governor has indicated he doesn't support it, or at least as big a version of it as some of the progressive legislators are proposing, and that's a good sign. I hope that he vetoes it entirely because it's a bad idea, although he's indicated he might support a small version of it. Even a smaller version of this so-called wealth tax is still a bad idea. Another controversial tax is an expansion of a larger payroll tax that has been experimented with in Seattle, and the results have been pretty bad. In Seattle, they called it the jumpstart tax, which is ironic because it didn't jumpstart anything. It chased a bunch of businesses out of the city of Seattle, and now their tax receipts are lower than they expected. I suspect it would do the same damage statewide that it did in Seattle. And in the transportation area, there are a couple of different transportation tax increases, particularly an increase in the sales tax on gasoline and diesel fuel, and I'm opposed to that too. All of these tax proposals are beginning to sort of be pushed back against, they're beginning to hit the rocks in debate and policy point conversations, and that's beginning to create some talk here at the Capitol that we will go into overtime. We will not end the current session on time, but may have to go into extra sessions afterward. This could go as long as 30 days or even longer. It's been a while since we've gone that long into extra innings, but with all this disagreement on raising taxes, some of us holding the line, others trying to raise taxes higher, it's beginning to look like we may have to go into extra time this session. I'll keep you posted as we get closer in the next week or two, but for now, be well and stay strong.